Contrary to popular belief, living in the same room as 5 other people is not actually that bad. In 2011, I moved to Liberia, West Africa, with my family, and for the first 6 weeks we were living there, all 6 of us lived together in one room. Needless to say, we were all very close. When we were deciding on where to live, my parents focused on several very important things. First, we did not want to live in a neighborhood where there were a lot of Americans. And second, we didn't want to look for a house with all the comforts we were used to from home. As it turns out, neither of those were concerned when we actually moved. Although it was in the city, our new house couldn't be accessed by road. It was on a peninsula, sandwiched between the ocean on one side and a wide lagoon on the other side. To get to the house, we had to cross a long, rickety monkey bridge. It was 3 planks wide and supported by bush poles. And though the house itself was bigger than the one room we had been living in, it didn't have running water, the electricity was spotty when the solar panels didn't soak in enough sun, and it had serious problems with the flooring, which eventually led to us having to tear up the tile entirely. And of course it didn't have air conditioning. But these problems were secondary. Our aim was to live in the middle of a Liberian community, and we succeeded. The house was right by the public water well, and our neighbors ranged from stable families that received incomes from working for non-governmental organizations to single mothers living in one-room tin shacks with their children. In addition to living in this community, we were intentional in living like they did. We ate rice every day. We walked almost everywhere we needed to go and took showers with buckets of water that we drew from the well ourselves. We all went to church together, worshiping and praising God in the Liberian way. In this way, we identified with the Liberian community, and our imitation of them drew us closer together. We were all on the same journey. In 1 Thessalonians 2:13-16, Paul does the same thing. He wants the church in Thessalonica to be encouraged, to tell them that they are not alone. In doing so, he says that the Thessalonians became imitators of the churches in Judea. Just as the Judean church has suffered, so the Thessalonians have suffered. Through imitation, Paul ties the 2 churches together in unity. They're all on the same journey. Just as Paul and his companions lived with the Thessalonians, we lived with our Liberian friends, sharing in that beautiful country of hills and fields and lakes. I had Liberian friends who were amazed at how my family lived. Most American missionaries ate American food and had running water. Some even had air conditioning. But those things came at a cost. And in imitating our brothers and sisters in Liberia, we became an encouragement to them. Just as we encouraged our Liberian friends through our imitation, so Paul encourages the Thessalonian church by lauding their imitation of the church in Judea. And that, he says, is a good reason to thank God.